Say yes, smile, absorb it, say yes again. You have built an entire personality out of not disappointing people. You call it kindness. You call it being easy to work with, easy to love, easy to forgive. Nobody ever had to raise their voice at you twice. You made sure of that. And somewhere underneath the smiling, something is rotting. You feel it at 2 a.m., when the day is over and the mask comes off and there is nobody left to perform for, and what's left doesn't feel peaceful. It feels hollow. It feels like a stranger wearing your face. You lie there rehearsing the conversation you should have had, the boundary you should have set, the no that died in your throat before it reached your mouth. Again. Carl Jung had a name for the thing you have been building. He called it the persona, from the Latin word for the mask an actor wears on stage. And here is what almost nobody tells you about the mask. It works. It gets you liked. It gets you invited. It gets you praised as such a good person. The trap is not that the mask fails. The trap is that it succeeds so completely that you forget you are wearing one. You start to believe you are the niceness, not that you perform it, that you are it, down to the bone. And that is where the rot begins. Because every yes that should have been a no does not vanish. It does not evaporate into good karma. It goes somewhere. Jung would tell you that psychic energy obeys a law as strict as physics. Nothing is created, nothing destroyed, only displaced. Every anger you swallowed for the sake of harmony is still inside you, fully charged, waiting in a room you stopped visiting. Jung once dreamed of a house, not a random house, his own psyche rendered in architecture, the way the unconscious speaks when it wants to be believed. On the top floor, a well-furnished salon, elegant, rococo, exactly what you'd show a guest. That's the persona. That's the you that RSVPs yes and asks how everyone else is doing first. Descend one floor, older, medieval, a little more shadowed. Descend again, a cellar, Roman, vaulted, forgotten. Descend once more, bedrock, prehistoric bones, a floor nobody built, a floor that was simply there, waiting under everything you constructed on top of it. You live on the top floor of your own house, beautifully decorated, open for guests. Meanwhile, the cellar door has not been opened in years, and you tell yourself that's because there's nothing down there worth seeing. There is. That's exactly the problem. Every act of niceness that costs you something real is a brick, another brick sealing the door between the salon and the cellar. You are not becoming a better person. You are constructing a more elaborate room upstairs, while the foundation beneath it groans under weight you refuse to acknowledge. And Jung's darkest, most quotable warning sits waiting for you at the bottom of this idea. 3 words that should terrify anyone who has built a personality out of pleasing others. What you resist persists, not fades, not resolves itself with enough good behavior. Persists, grows in the dark, feeds on your unwillingness to look at it. And one day, when you least expect it, when you are the most exhausted, the most depleted, the most done, that cellar door will not open politely. It will blow off its hinges. You already know this. You felt the flash of rage that seemed to come from nowhere, aimed at someone who barely deserved it. You felt yourself collapse over something small after holding yourself together through something enormous. That was not a character flaw. That was the cellar, finally speaking. The question is not whether the door opens. It always opens. The question is whether you open it, or whether it breaks. If these words carved an echo within your void, do not turn back. The descent has just begun. Click below, subscribe, and claim your reality. Let's go down to the cellar, on purpose this time. with a light in your hand instead of your back turned to the stairs. Jung called what lives down there the shadow. Not evil, not your inner demon in some cartoon sense. The shadow is simply everything about you that didn't fit the room upstairs. Every impulse that would have gotten you disapproval instead of applause. Your selfishness, your rage, your appetite, your refusal, your no. All of it, exiled to the basement the moment you learned. As a child, as an employee, as a partner, that being loved required editing yourself. Here is the part that will unsettle you. The shadow is not weaker than your persona. It is not some faint echo of who you really are. It is, in Jung's own words, 90% pure gold. The shadow contains your unlived life, the ambition you called arrogant and buried, the anger that was actually correct information about a violation, the desire you labeled shameful and locked away. You didn't get rid of your vitality when you built the nice, agreeable version of yourself. You just moved it to a room you stopped visiting. And a room nobody visits does not stay empty. It ferments. This is where you need to understand a mechanism Jung called compensation. The psyche is not a monarchy where the conscious mind rules unopposed. It is closer to an ecosystem, self-regulating, always seeking balance. When you consciously overplay one side of yourself, the agreeable side, the accommodating side, the side that never causes friction, the unconscious does not simply agree to be erased. It compensates. It pushes back, quietly at first, in dreams, in irritability, in inexplicable exhaustion. And if you ignore the quiet signal long enough, compensation stops being quiet. Think about the person in your life who is famous for being nice. Not situationally kind, professionally nice. The one who never complains, never confronts, never says the hard thing even when the hard thing is true. Now think about how they explode. Not argue, explode. Disproportionate, sudden, frightening even to themselves. That is not a contradiction of their niceness. That is their niceness, fully compensated, erupting through the one crack it could find. Jung had a word for this too, borrowed from the Greek philosopher Heraclitus. Enantiodromia, the tendency of a thing pushed to its extreme, to convert into its opposite. The saint who becomes the tyrant of his own household, the peacekeeper who cannot stop picking fights with the people who love them most, the endlessly giving parent who quietly resents the children they gave everything to. This is not hypocrisy. This is the law of psychic compensation exacting its interest, on schedule, without mercy. You cannot outrun this law by being nicer, harder, longer. That's like trying to cure a fever by insisting louder that you're not sick. Now let's talk about the specific poison in forced niceness, the kind you perform rather than feel. Jung would call unexpressed, unacknowledged negative feeling by a precise clinical name, a complex, a cluster of emotion, memory, and impulse, split off from the rest of the psyche, operating with its own semi-autonomous will. You think you have no anger toward the people who take advantage of your agreeableness. You don't feel angry. You feel fine, but the complex doesn't need your permission to act. It leaks into your tone. It shows up as the passive-aggressive comment you didn't mean to make. It shows up as the illness your body develops when your mouth won't. Jung worked with patients his whole career whose bodies were finishing sentences their conscious minds refused to start. And here is the mechanism that should genuinely disturb you. What you refuse to own, you will meet in someone else. Jung called this projection. The shadow you will not acknowledge in yourself does not disappear. It gets thrown, unconsciously, onto other people. The nice person is very often the person with the sharpest, most merciless internal critic of others' selfishness, others' rudeness, others' refusal to be agreeable. Ask yourself honestly, who irritates you the most? Whose bluntness makes your skin crawl? There is a decent chance you are looking at your own exiled shadow, wearing someone else's face, because it's easier to hate it out there than to claim it in here. This is the diagnosis, and it is not comfortable. Your niceness was never pure. It was a deal. You traded authenticity for safety, and the bill has been accruing interest the entire time you called it a virtue. Here is the assumption you walked in with, the one we now have to burn down, that the goal is to become less nice, that the fix is to swing to the other extreme, harden up, stop caring, become the blunt, unapologetic person who says whatever they want. Jung would tell you that is not liberation. That is an antiodromia doing exactly what it does, flipping you to the opposite pole, which is still a pole, still an imbalance, still a person ruled by one half of themselves instead of governed by the whole. Trading the tyranny of the persona for the tyranny of the shadow is not individuation. It is just a different mask, worn by the part of you that used to be locked in the cellar. You do not fix a house with a beautiful top floor and a flooded basement by abandoning the top floor. You fix it by going down there with a lamp, cataloging what you find and integrating it, bringing it up into the light where it can be used instead of feared. So here is the deeper cut. The thing most people and most content about toxic positivity and people-pleasing will not say out loud. Your niceness is not just a defense against other people's disapproval. It is a defense against your own shadow. You are not only afraid of what happens if others see the selfish, angry, hungry parts of you. You are afraid of what happens if you see them, because if you see them clearly, you have to admit they are yours. You have to admit that the good person identity you have spent a lifetime constructing was, in part, a performance staged to convince yourself as much as anyone else. This is the darkest implication, so sit with it before you flinch away. The nice version of you and the selfish version of you are not enemies. They are two halves of one incomplete person, and the war between them is not a war you can win by strengthening one side. It is a war that ends only one way, through defeat of the war itself. Jung called this movement toward wholeness individuation, not becoming a better person in some moral Sunday school sense, but becoming a more complete one, integrating the persona and the shadow into something Jung called the self, not the ego, which is only the part of you that's awake and in charge of daily decisions, but the self, the full architecture of the house, top floor to bedrock, finally acknowledged as one structure instead of a showroom built over a crime scene. And here is the part that should genuinely frighten anyone who built their entire identity on being agreeable. Individuation is not safe. It will cost you relationships that were only ever built on your compliance. People who loved the version of you that never pushed back will not necessarily love the version of you that does. Jung did not promise comfort at the end of this road. He promised wholeness, and wholeness is not the same as being liked. But here is the way through, and it is not the answer you expect. The way through the shadow is not to destroy it, exile it further, or drown it in more niceness. The way through is confrontation, Jung's actual term, used again and again in his clinical writing. You do not defeat the shadow. You meet it, face to face without flinching, the way you'd meet an intruder in your own cellar with a lamp instead of a locked door. And the terrifying, liberating discovery waiting for you down there is this: the intruder was never a stranger. It has your face. It has always had your face. What waits at the bottom of the stairs is not a monster to be killed. It is the rest of you, waiting to come home. 4 tools, not comfort, weapons, Jungian in origin, each demanding something from you that will cost you the easy version of being liked. Weapon 1, the shadow inventory. Tonight, write down the names of 3 people who irritate you disproportionately. Not mildly annoy, disproportionately, the kind of irritation that feels personal even when it isn't. Beside each name, write the exact trait that grates on you. Selfish, blunt, arrogant, cold. Now sit with the possibility Jung insisted on. That trait is not simply out there. It is a piece of your own shadow, disowned so completely you had to find it wearing someone else's face to even see it. This is uncomfortable by design. You are not journaling about them, you are excavating you. Weapon 2, the deliberate number. Pick one request this week, not the biggest one, not yet. You're not ready for that, and refuse it. Not with a justification. Not with an apology wrapped around it like packaging. A clean, undecorated no. Watch what happens in your body when you say it. The tightness in your chest is not a sign you did something wrong. It is the sound of a brick coming out of the cellar wall. It will feel like betrayal. It is not betrayal. It is the first honest transaction between your persona and your shadow in years. Weapon 3, the compensation watch. For the next month, track every moment you feel a disproportionate emotional reaction. Rage at a slow driver, tears over a minor criticism, exhaustion after a conversation that should have cost you nothing. Do not judge the reaction. Interrogate it. Ask, what did I swallow in the last 48 hours that this reaction is now settling the bill for? Jung's law of compensation means nothing is random. Every eruption is a receipt. Start reading them instead of throwing them away. Weapon 4, the gold retrieval. This is the one that will surprise you. Jung insisted the shadow is not only your cruelty, it holds your unlived greatness too. The ambition you called arrogant and buried, the desire you called selfish and silenced, the talent you called showing off and hid. Make a second list, not what irritates you in others, but what you privately envy. Who has the life, the confidence, the audacity you secretly wish you'd claimed? That envy is a map. It points directly at gold you exiled to the cellar, along with the rage. Because a child cannot easily tell the difference between too much anger and too much ambition. Both got the same punishment. Both went down the same stairs. Use these 4 together, and something in the architecture of you will start to shift. The persona stops being a prison and starts being what it was always supposed to be. A functional interface with the world, worn consciously, removed at will. Instead of a mask fused so tightly to your skin you forgot you had a face underneath it. This will cost you. People who benefited from the old arrangement, your compliance, your silence, your bottomless capacity to absorb what should have been theirs to carry, will not applaud your integration. Some of them will call the new, more whole version of you different, colder, not as sweet as you used to be. Jung would tell you that's not an accusation. It's a compliment, mistranslated by people who preferred your cellar locked. Go back to that room. 2 a.m., mask off. The day finally over. You know the house better now. You know the top floor was never the whole structure, just the room you learned to decorate for guests, brick by brick, yes by yes, until you mistook the showroom for the entire building. You know the cellar was never empty. You know what happens to psychic energy that isn't allowed to move. It doesn't vanish. It waits, and waiting things do not stay gentle forever. You are not being asked to become cruel. That was never the alternative. That was just the shadow's turn to wear the mask, the pendulum swinging to the opposite wall of the same small room. You are being asked to do something far harder than becoming cold. To become whole. To carry the salon and the cellar in the same body without apologizing for either one. To let the no and the yes both be real, spoken by the same integrated person, instead of one half performing while the other half seethes in the dark. This is what Jung meant by individuation, and it was never a self-help slogan. It was a lifelong confrontation undertaken by anyone honest enough to admit that the nice version of themselves was incomplete, not fake, not a lie exactly, just unfinished. A single flaw mistaken for an entire house. You will lose things on this path. Some relationships were built entirely on the version of you that never pushed back, and they will not survive your wholeness. Let them go. They were never relationships with you. They were arrangements with your persona, and your persona was never the point. What you gain is harder to describe but impossible to fake once you have it. The specific, unshakable calm of a person who is no longer at war with their own basement. Who can say no without rehearsing an apology for it? Who can feel anger without being ambushed by it? 3 weeks later, aimed at the wrong person, at the wrong volume. Who has finally gone down the stairs with a light, instead of standing at the top, pretending not to hear what's moving down there. The niceness that was killing you was never really kindness. Kindness is a choice, made freely from a full house. What you had was compliance, made from fear by someone who had bricked up half of themselves to be tolerated by the other half of the world. Go down there, bring a light. Stop apologizing for what you find. The cellar was never your enemy. It was you, waiting to be let upstairs. What's in your cellar, and how long have you left it waiting in the dark? Tell me, in one sentence below.